Few of you heard my testimony in Washington, D.C. And I added a few things about our family, as not everybody knows. I'm talking about the year 2002. It was our family's 6th year in Seattle, Washington. After living and working for 15 years in Kodiak, Alaska, my family moved to Seattle. Those years in Kodiak were full of experiencing our true parents' life and love for God and people. Ours and our 4 children's hearts were full of love for Father and Mother Moon. That year, 14 years ago, our eldest daughter, Jinju Ellen Byrne, not yet 18, insisted on participating in the Blessed Marriage ceremony in Korea. And she was blessed that year on February 14. In May, she graduated from high school and went to visit her husband in South America. At the beginning of August, she joined the SCF USA, a character education program. And 4 weeks later, at the end of that month, August, Wednesday late afternoon, we have received a call from the police that our daughter was missing. After a few hours not finding her, they decided to stop search to resume in the morning. But the morning brought a shocking news. The body of our beloved daughter was found in the abandoned apartment. Although this took place 14 years ago, it is like it was yesterday. We had just talked to her on the phone 2 days before. She was excited, full of energy and plans for the future. Our first reaction was disbelief that someone could take the life of our pure, very idealistic daughter, devoted to life and her mission. The very next morning, on the way to the city where she died, my husband and her father, Martin Byrne from New Zealand, bearing deeply his own pain, started to feel instead the empathy, compassion for the mother and the family of the perpetrator. Their pain is worse than ours, he told me. First, I couldn't accept that. I couldn't feel anything else but sadness, anger, disappointment, and desire for retribution. With my husband's help, I started to realize that nothing will bring her back to this life. So what could we do now? We could only show God's true love and love the enemy in a real and substantial way. We have heard so many times, love God with all your heart, love yourself, love your neighbor, and love your enemy. He and his family were definitely our enemy that we had to face. Now God was testing us. Do we believe this teaching? Can we really do it, what he is asking of us? When we arrived at late evening, we found a crowd of people surrounding her photograph, singing holy songs and praying. There were young and old, people, mothers with children from the community, people that just met her the day before when she was fundraising with jewelry. That night, my husband was asked to speak in front of the local news TV cameras. He explained that despite this personal terrible tragedy, we came with forgiveness and hope to bring reconciliation to that community and to other racially divided cities where murders like this were rampant. We need to find love for each other and help each other to overcome anger, resentment, and disappointments of life. That message from a man that just lost his beloved daughter to a brutal murder was heard across the country in disbelief. 2 days later, with the help of the founder of MOMO, which is Mothers of Murder Offsprings, we were able to visit the perpetrator's family home, a home of 21-year-old African-American man. I still had mixed feelings. I had to find strength to meet the family, the mother and the family. God was testing our faith. We had to gather inner strength to meet and comfort them. But something miraculous had taken place. God, our Heavenly Parent, was with us. His mercy and grace appeared very visibly. When I touched his mother's hand and embraced her, I was not as angry at them anymore. I started to feel some of this mother's pain and her disappointment of having such a son. We were always very proud of our first daughter, who she was and what she accomplished in her short life. After a few months, we were able to visit this young man in prison and look into his eyes. We already knew that the prosecutor was asking for a death sentence, but we believed that he deserved another chance. Again, our Heavenly Parent, in his unconditional love, had intervened and allowed us to offer forgiveness again and help the young man come to repentance and start his walk to recovery. This act also helped to open the door for healing to start taking place on both sides. The death sentence was finally changed. So now when he is doing his prison sentence, we have more opportunity for communication, thus furthering the process of healing for all of us involved. During those years, we have received many letters from him and apology from his mother. In those 14 years, also we have experienced a lot of sadness and regret of young daughter's life was taken. But also we got involved in some activities that help us to cope with our own grief. Both of our other daughters became involved in a grief counseling program, helping young people to heal and recover after losing loved ones. Also, with the help of our community in Seattle, we created a program over the years in memory of our late daughter called Pure Love Celebration, encouraging younger girls and boys to participate in the Pure Love Essay, poetry and art contest. As we well know, there are many examples how initial forgiveness can change people's hearts and allow the process of healing and recovery to take place. I hope that our family experience can help someone else to walk that path, the path that should be the only path, the only way, God's Heavenly Parent's way. Thank you for listening.